students, today we have some concept of pseudo order reaction. Pseudo, what does it mean actually? Pseudo mean not genuine, mean not in actual. So if we talk about pseudo order reaction, it means it's not an actual order. It is not actually exact order of the reaction. So pseudo mean non-genuine, meaning not actual. Pseudo order reaction is reaction actually in which one of the reactants is present in large excess. Pseudo order reaction is a type of reaction in which one of the reactants is present in large excess. Okay, and because it is present in large excess, so its change in concentration will not be significant. Okay, so that we call a pseudo order reaction. Suppose we have a reactant A and B, it goes to C. Its rate will be A and B. If B is present in large excess, then this rate will be, what does it mean? B is equal to K plus. Okay, B K is equal to K. So this sort of reaction are called pseudo order reaction. For example, we have hydrolysis of ester. This is ester, water, it gives you and OH. Okay, its rate will be A and Y. Because this is in excess, so its rate will be, it mainly depends upon the concentration of ethyl acetate, and you have its exponent is equal to 1. So this is actually a first order reaction. But we have two reactants, but one of them is in excess, so we call it not, actually it is not a first order, but because this part is in excess and its change in concentration is not significant, so that we call it pseudo first order reaction. Similarly, we have another example, sucrose, and its hydrolysis gives you this is your sucrose. Water is present in excess, glucose and fructose. Its rate is actually what? Its rate will be equal to K C12 H22O11 and then water, because this part is in excess, So it will be equal to, so similarly this is also a pseudo order reaction. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is pseudo order reactions or the reactions or the order which is not is an actual order. Okay, those reactions in which one of the reactants is present in large excess, then that reaction usually follow the pseudo order reaction. So these are the examples of pseudo first order reactions. In addition to this concept, today we have to study effect of different parameters on the rate of reactions, mean effect of concentration of reactant, pressure, temperature, and catalyst. Today we have to study actually the effect of concentration, pressure, temperature, and catalyst. For concentration, we know that by increasing the concentration of reactants, the rate of reaction usually increases. This is a very general concept. Suppose we have a rate where you have a reactant A and B, like this. Now, if you will increase the concentration of B, rate will be increased, because rate is directly proportional to the concentration of B. If you will decrease the concentration of B, the rate of reaction will be decreased. For this case, rate is directly proportional to the square of this concentration. Mean, if you increase the concentration of A, the rate of reaction will be increased. But now, in that particular case, we have to deal with how much, mean which factors actually. If you increase, suppose A is 1, the rate will be equal to 1 raised to power 2 is equal to 1. If the concentration of A is doubled, then rate will be increased 4 times. Okay? Mean here, in that case, if you double the concentration of B, the rate will be doubled. But in that case, for concentration of A, if you double the concentration of reactant A, the rate will be increased 4 times. Okay? So here you can get idea about the effect of concentration upon the rate of reaction. So rate of reaction generally increases with the concentration of reactant. Similarly, if you have the effect of, if you are dealing a gaseous system, then in the case of gaseous system, pressure is doing the same effect as that of concentration, because in case of gaseous system, we usually measure the quantity or change of concentration by considering the pressure of that gas. So, by increasing the pressure in the gaseous system, the rate of reaction usually increases. Now, the main topic for 2 days are temperature and catalyst. In case of temperature, effect of temperature generally the rate of reaction increases. Rate of reaction increases with increasing pressure. Okay, this is a general concept. Rate of reaction increases with increasing temperature. It is also mentioned in the few books that for every 10-degree rise in temperature, the rate will be approximately double. Mean, if you have two different rates at two different temperatures with the increment of 10 degree, suppose this is your rate at 35 degree centigrade and this is your rate at 25 degree centigrade, meaning you have determined the rate of reaction or rate constant at two different temperatures with the difference of 10 degree, then the rate will be approximately 2. So this is called temperature coefficient. It means by 10-degree rise, if you have two different rate constant and you have here a rate of reaction at 25 degrees Celsius or 10 degrees Celsius, and after the increment of 10 degrees you approach to almost 20 degrees Celsius, then you will determine the rate of reaction at 20 degrees Celsius. Then the ratio will be approximately equal to 2. Mean for every 10 degree increase in temperature, the rate of reaction will be approximately double. So this equation is called temperature coefficient. It means the rate of reaction increases with increase in temperature. For this particular concept, our Arrhenius equation is used to study the effect of temperature. To study the effect of temperature, mean we have rate constant is equal to A e raised to power minus E A over RT. While taking log on both sides, this equation will be natural log of K, natural log of A minus E A over RT. This equation can also be written as natural log of A minus E A over R, because we are going to find the relation between rate constant and temperature. Now this is some sort of your equation of straight line. This equation can also be written as minus E A over R 1 over T plus natural log of K. By comparing this equation with the equation of straight line, you will come up with this type of expression. Here you have natural log of K and here you have 1 over T. This will be like this. Okay? And here slope will be equal to, that will be minus actually negative slope, and that slope will be equal to over 1 over T. Okay? Now you can, here from 0 to higher value, here you can see that the 1 over 2, the value of 1 over 2 is increasing and rate is decreasing. Value of 1 over T, 1 over T, the increase in 1 over T means decrease in temperature. How? Suppose you have 1 over t is equal to 10. Okay, then t will be equal to 0.1. Okay, if 1 over t is equal to 100, t will be equal to 0.01. It means 1 over t for 10 is here, for 100 is here. If 1 over t is 10, it means here temperature is equal to 0.1 and here you have temperature 0.01. It means from this side to this side 1 over t is increasing, whereas t is temperature is decreasing. So decrease in temperature gives you decrease in rate of reaction, meaning your reaction is going to, the rate of reaction is going to decrease. So this is actually how temperature affects the rate of reaction. It means the increase in temperature usually increase the rate of reaction. Now here you have the concept of activation energy. In factual points, how temperature increases the rate of reaction. While with the increase in temperature, actually the number of collisions, which type of collisions? Effective collisions. Those collisions whose energy is greater than the activation energy will increase. Due to the higher temperature, the number of collisions, effective collisions increases. So due to increase in temperature, as collisions going to increase, so eventually you will have increase in rate of reaction. So this equation is used to determine the to give idea about how temperature changes the rate of reaction. One more thing, this equation can also be used to find the activation energy. If you have two different rate of reactions at two different temperatures, then while using this concept you will be able to find the activation energy of a reaction. How? To find the activation energy of reaction. So this is a way, while using this concept you will be able to find the activation energy of a reaction. There is no such a direct experiment to find the activation energy. Only in this way, by measuring the rate constant at two different temperatures, you will be able to find the activation energy of a reaction. Suppose we have this equation, natural log of K is equal to natural log of A minus EA over RT. Suppose you have temperature T1 and this part is K1. Now you have natural log of K A minus EA over RT2 at different temperature, the rate will be different. Now this is your equation 1 and this is your equation 2. Now 2 minus 1. What will you get? Natural log of K2 minus natural log of K1 is equal to RT2 minus T2 minus T1. For this case, this will be cancelled with this, and you have minus EA over RT2 minus plus EA over RT1. Here you have natural log of K2 minus natural log of T1. Okay. Now you can write this part by using the concept of natural K2 over K1. and this will be equal to EA over RT1 minus EA over RT2. Here you have EA over R is common. You have 1 over T1 minus 1 over T2. This equation will also be written as T1, T2, T2 minus T1 natural log of K2 over K1. This is your equation. By using this equation, you have determined the rate constant at two different temperatures. Now you have the value of K2 in Kelvin, T1 temperature 1, 2, and you know the values of R. You have through experiment the value of rate constant at temperature T2 and value of this rate constant at temperature T1. Then you will be able to find the value of activation energy. Okay. In some books you will find 1 over here and 2 over here. If 2 is above this line, then 2 will be over here. This equation can also be written as natural log of K1 over K2 EA over R T1 T2, then we will write over here T1 minus T2. If K1 is here, then here will be T1. If K2 is here, then here will be T2. So these two equations can also be used to find the activation energy of reaction. By measuring, by determining, by finding the rate constant at two different temperatures. Now we have effect of a catalyst. For this particular case, we have to study how catalyst changes the rate of reaction. For this concept, we must know the concept of activation energy and activation complex. Okay. Activation energy is actually the energy required to come up with product. For a particular reaction, this is actually the minimum amount of energy required to produce product. And at that minimum energy, the intermediate form at that minimum energy is called activated complex. This concept can also be explained using the Boltzmann-Maxwell distribution. According to that, this is your energy. Here you have number of species or reacting molecules like this. If you have this sort of this fraction of molecules, this is your activation energy, EA. This fraction of molecules have, among all different molecules, these fractions of molecules have the energy to cross this barrier and to come up with the product. Now, increasing the rate reaction mean you will have to increase number of collisions. Which collision? Effective collisions. In case of catalyst actually provide you a different path, alternative path. The path whose activation energy is lower. The path whose activation energy is lower. Mean it can we use this path, but will have higher fraction of molecules with higher fraction of molecules to have energy, so its energy will be lower. Mean red color shows that an alternative path. Red means alternative path with lower energy. So catalyst actually provides an alternative path with lower energy, meaning that path whose energy is lower. So the catalyst actually gives an alternative path to have a reaction, meanwhile increasing number of effective collisions or those molecules whose energy is effective. Okay. Now, if you have energy profile, mean here you have reaction coordinates, and here you have energy. This is your reactant, this is your product, and this is your uncatalyzed. This is your reactant and product, and the difference between this is the energy difference actually, and this is that activation energy for uncatalyzed reaction. If we introduce catalyst in the reaction, it will increase the rate of reaction, but by using an alternative path. This is a catalyzed reaction, meaning it will give you alternative path with lower energy. What actually catalyst? Catalyst actually a substance which increase the rate of reaction. It also involves in the reaction to increase the rate of reaction, and while decreasing by providing alternative path, it involves in the reaction, but it remains unchanged at the end of the reaction. It remains unchanged at the end of the reaction. On actual points, in actual points, how catalyst actually work, how it will increase the rate of reaction. For a particular reaction, you have number of collisions, effective collisions. Okay? And whenever there is a reaction, there is an intermediate. And intermediate has its energy. And that energy is called activation energy. Meaning you have to break that intermediate to come up with product. Okay? So, for a particular reaction, what you have actually? Collisions, mean effective collisions. Effective collisions depends upon actual orientation. Orientation of molecule, orientation of reactant species. If it is the exact orientation, that they will be able to react. If there is no exact orientation or they are not effectively collide, then there will be no reaction. Second part, you must know about the energy of activating complex or intermediate, that is complex, activated complex or activation complex. Activated complex. What actually catalyst do? Catalyst helps the molecules to get exact or effective orientation. What it actually do? It actually play with the orientation of the molecules. It reshape them, or it will help molecule to orient or to make the orientation in such a way that they will give you a effective collision. And one more thing, the complex form in case of activated complex, in case of catalyst helps to form an intermediate or complex with lower energy. Okay, in these two ways it will increase the rate of reaction. Suppose this is you have reactant A plus B, it goes to D. How will it go? A plus B, then there is a complex, and then D. This complex has higher energy. like this. Now you have a catalyst, that is C. Catalyst C. A plus C, you will come up with AC. And this AC will again react with B to give you ACB. And this ACB gives you D plus C. Now the activation energy of this complex lower energy. So by using catalyst, it gives you a complex or intermediate with lower energy, that is this one. So in that way it will decrease the lower energy, or it will give you, so this is actually an alternative path. This is actually an alternative path which has lower energy as compared to this path, so that catalyst increases the rate of a reaction. Okay. For particular case, we have, it means the catalyst can increase the rate of, but it actually increase. There are some things, there are some substances, chemicals. So catalyst is actually a chemical species which enhance the rate of reaction by providing an alternative path. Okay? By providing an alternative path. For example, you studied this. Without catalyst, we have no reaction. But when we have platinum or nickel catalyst, we have this product. So it means that during their reaction there are some problem. Might be the molecules will not get the proper orientation to come up with the reaction, or there might be a little reaction but a complex formed with higher energy, so it will not give the product. But when you use the nickel as a catalyst, it gives an alternative path to this reaction wherein the complex has lower energy, okay, and molecules get the proper orientation to react. In how actually it works, suppose you have this hydrogen, mainly H2 molecule, and we have I will write with red color for this and this, and this is your catalytic surface, catalyst, nickel. This is your nickel catalyst. What actually happens over here? Like this, you have this catalyst, hydrogen come in contact like this, it absorbs on the surface, and this part absorbed on the surface like this. Then there is a physical absorption of these two reactants on the surface of this part. Now from here, this will easily get this hydrogen to make it stable one, and this over here, and similarly for this case you have and here you have one more hydrogen. Now this part will react to get hydrogen, and you will come up with this is your catalyst, and here you have okay. Now you can see this is your catalyst. These are two reactants. Catalyst gets involved, and there is an adsorption of these two reactants, and now there is a surface reaction, and now after adsorption there is a reaction, and now the catalyst retained itself. Catalyst has retained itself after the reaction, after so much involvement, and you will come up with this your product. So in this way, actually catalyst increase the rate of reaction. This is actually catalytic reaction. How the surface of catalyst reacts to give you a product. In conclusion, we have a catalyst. Catalyst increases the rate of reaction by providing an alternative path. How it will provide? By making how it will actually provide you an alternative path. For this you have two concepts. One of them is the activated complex formed during the use of catalyst has lower energy, so it will give you another path. And one more thing, that is the proper orientation. Catalyst helps reactant molecule to give them a proper orientation to come up with effective cooling. Now this is all about for